what they hope to learn today.
Welcome, Lions. If you have not already, please share where you're coming to us from and what you hope to learn about marketing. We will start at the top of the hour. Hello, Lions. We are keeping everyone mute for this session, so if you have any questions or comments, please include those in the chat. And we will be starting at the top of the hour. This program will be recorded and it's also live streamed on our YouTube channel for so many of our Lions friends who were not able to get in on the capacity of our Zoom account. Pamela, if you don't mind lowering your hand and putting your question in the chat, one of our admin team will keep up with you there. Thank you. Hello to the Lions on the YouTube channel and our live stream there. Glad to have you with us as well. We'll be starting shortly. And if you don't mind, in the YouTube chat, go ahead and share where you are from and what you hope to learn about marketing.
Wendy, just so you know, that will not start till exactly the top of the hour because that's how YouTube works.
Okay, I saw the notice that said that it was going to be live streamed and thought that that was the case.
We are now up to 260 people in the session.
Thank you, Chris. If you can confirm YouTube has started, I do have the top of the hour, so I will go ahead and begin.
It is not yet started, Wendy. It does have a slight delay, so you can go ahead and it will catch up with you, just so you're aware.
We're good. It's streaming.
Awesome. Thank you. And hello, Lions. I am Lion Wendy Kane from Knoxville, Tennessee, USA, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our first Lions virtual series on learning opportunities that are focused on marketing your Lions club and district. We are glad you are here and are excited that you represent all corners of the world for our great association. I have just a couple of announcements as we begin. First, our program is scheduled to last approximately 90 minutes and will include several learning topics and a chance to interact with one another to share how we might use what we've learned. Due to the demand for this topic, some of you are with us directly in Zoom, and I would also like to offer a special hello to our viewers on the YouTube live stream. And I would encourage them to stay with us because you'll be able to interact directly with our presenters during the breakout time. I'll share a little bit more about that later. We will also be monitoring the chat for both the Zoom participants and the YouTube live stream for any questions, ideas, and comments that might come up. This session is being recorded for future reference, so this also serves as your advisory that your participation may be recorded. and it is now my honor to introduce our advocate and sponsor for this series. From Brookfield, Connecticut, USA, Mark S. Lyon currently serves as second vice president of Lions Clubs International, and we certainly appreciate his keen interest and the time that he has devoted to this topic. Welcome, Vice President Mark.
Thank you so much, Lyon Wendy. We appreciate all you're doing to coordinate the call today. And I also wanted to thank all of the breakout leaders and all the other organizers that are making this event possible. You know, we've had this discussion a long time ago about the importance of marketing Lions. This discussion, again, goes on all the time. It involves our board committee that leads the marketing effort, but it involves so many individual Lions. And that's really what we want to talk about today. We want to get down to the grassroots level. I do want to make a disclaimer. I am not a marketing professional, but I do acknowledge the critical need for all Lions in promoting themselves, their clubs, their districts, their multiple districts. That's critically important as we go forward and share the amazing work that our Lions are doing all around the world. You know, it's a great experience when I've had the opportunity to listen to our marketing committee of the board talk about new initiatives. And this Lions virtual session goes way beyond that. Again, this is where we get to the grassroots level. We're attempting to work with local Lions in every part of the world, in all constitutional areas, to share new ideas, new concepts, new ways of looking at technology. And a lot of that's going to happen in the call today. Most of the sessions today could go on for hours, or in fact, days. They are very meaty topics. They are very critical topics, but we're going to give you a little taste of that. And the leaders that'll present each of the major topics today and carry them forward for discussion in the breakout sessions will be really getting you used to certain topics. We're dealing with technology and artificial intelligence, a variety of things. And we want you all to enjoy that as much as possible because it is a learning experience for all of us. You know, Lions have had this challenge with marketing for many years, and that's okay. Lions have not been known particularly for being very innovative or open to change, especially when it comes to marketing. We're a service-driven organization, and that's important too to remember. But we also have to understand that Lions are getting better and better at being collaborative. We're working together stronger because the technology that's out there is becoming more readily available, and we're becoming much more familiar with ways to communicate with each other. Because when you think about it, marketing is all about communication and sharing, but we have to learn how to better leverage the technology that we have right in front of us so that we can perform our service to the best ability we can. And that includes every Lion in every corner of the world. We also need to be creative in our marketing. And the topics that we'll discuss today and we'll discuss in future webinars throughout this Lions year are going to focus on those new ways of thinking about marketing. One of the things I've mentioned to groups in the past is our effort to remain creative. And one of the concepts that's out there is known as design thinking. It's just another way to focus on the topics that we're trying to get out in front of our Lions. And I want to mention just 5 simple steps when you're talking about marketing and the importance of that. The first step is that we have to empathize with the cause. Lions are so good about supporting our global causes. And so we have to make sure that we understand the users' needs. And the users are not only our own Lions, but they're the people around the world that we're serving. We need to make sure that we define these needs and problems at a very detailed level so that we truly understand what we're addressing. We need to create ideas. We need to continue to gather around the table or get on Zoom meetings or meet in some format to share the ideas that we're coming up with and to talk about the potential solutions to those problems. And then we need to develop a prototype and start rolling it out. And we talk about that with chartering new clubs and doing branch clubs to test the waters, to see where the needs are and how we can best communicate and market ourselves in service to our communities. And then we just need to do it. We need to make that call to action and just give each other permission to make these activities happen. That's a very, very important part of this process. You know, when it comes to the most important things for our Lions now, we're going to talk again today about technology and how we advance our mission of service using technology like artificial intelligence and things like that. So one of the things that our Lions need to do is to map out a strategic plan, even at the club level, or maybe especially at the club level, on the types of activities they want to perform and the marketing that they need to make those events well known and publicized and recognizable to the communities in which they're serving. So we need to focus on getting online, and we need to think outside the box with new ideas and new projects, and we need to become better storytellers. That's a key part of marketing, is how to tell our story, and we're going to give you the tools for that during today's session. We also need to find and leverage the use of influencers. We see them on social media all the time. We see them on YouTube. We see them on TikTok and Instagram. Is these influencers are sharing their passion for a specific topic and making it known around the world with all the people they're connected with. Lions have a unique opportunity to be very strong international global influencers. And we need to keep talking about that as we go forward. So we have to learn what understands what works for you. And so the chat box that you'll have available to you today and the breakout rooms will give you a chance to really talk about what issues you have at the local level. And lastly, I want to say that we need to be willing to take on a little risk sometimes, and I'm not talking about major issues, but we need to be disruptors sometime. We need to get our voice out there, heard for what we can do. Lions are very good at service, and we know that, and we're going to always continue to be strong in our service mission. But sometimes we need to reach a little deeper and make a little noise. We talk about patting ourselves on the back, celebrating the service that we perform. So don't be afraid to encourage your Lions to make a little noise, to be willing to change up the status quo a little bit, and take your message forward using the marketing skills we're going to share with you today. So new ideas and insights about technology like artificial intelligence and some of the other things that we'll go through are critically important to your club and how it markets all of its activities. So we want you to think outside these traditional marketing and technology channels to embrace the individual club, district, multiple district leadership capabilities that you have and can enhance through marketing. And there's no reason to fear or be apprehensive about technology because you know you can use it. You know that you've made great strides since the pandemic period with taking on new challenges using technology to stay together and communicate and work with each other. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to our leadership team here. I just want to make sure that everybody stays engaged in this process. You'll be in breakout rooms in a little bit after our topics are covered, and we want to hear some great dialogue, some great discussion. Use the chat box as much as possible. That's being monitored, and enjoy yourself. Get your voice heard. We want to make sure that we all have the opportunity to do that, and look forward to wrapping things up with you in a little bit. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, Vice President Mark. I think you've helped set the stage for the things that we are going to learn today. And the only other adjustment that I would offer is, while I do think it's great for our clubs to make a little bit of noise, we're hoping that this Marketing Lions series helps give our members and clubs the confidence to do more than make a little bit of noise. We want to hear you roar throughout the world. So that's our goal when this series moves forward, and I feel pretty confident with some of the programming that will help us get there. So to dive in and to keep us on track for a tight schedule today, our first topic will be to highlight a resource from Lions International. To share an example of LCI marketing grants and how to apply is immediate past District Governor Chris Wooters from Waldorf, Maryland, USA. Lyon Chris, take it away.
Thank you very much. And we're going to be doing some speed learning now because we only have 10 minutes for the subject. So here we go. As far as background goes, I have been able to put this marketing grant to good use this last year. We're going to talk about a little bit about this. So let's go into it. Let's dive in quick. What is a marketing grant program? So the marketing grant program is something that Lions Club International puts together that has the four main topics. So we're trying to do a marketing reach. We're trying to reach out and touch non-Lions and to be able to reach out and tell other non-Lions about Lions. We are looking to make sure we're brand aware, make sure that we know exactly where the Lions International brand is, and we're getting it out there for more eyes to see it and more eyes to know about the Lions Club International. We're talking about growth. The marketing grant needs to talk about how we're going to be able to improve the mission 1.5. If we're not improving it, we're not bringing membership to the table, the grant program is not going to work. And the last thing is value. So we need to make sure with this marketing grant program that we get every dollar we get out there, that we're taking full advantage of it and making sure we're able to get it out there for more people to see it. This is a multiple district grant. So when you're part of multiple district, you have to do it at a multiple district grant level. Usually this typically is a $15,000 USD grant that has a 10% match grant. So you have to, before you put down there, you'll have to put down in your grant where you're coming up with that $1,500 USD for your grant. That is the minimum that you have to be, you have to have down there to put towards it. I actually would recommend you put a little bit more towards that to help out. And the last one is something I found out a little bit too late, is you need to make sure that low $5,000 is in your budget. So the last $5,000 of the $15,000 has to be in your current budget. That way you do not get that back until you are checked off and you put all your reports in and everything's been submitted and approved. So that's the what. We're keeping this simple today. We're going to do what. We're going to talk about when. So here's a when. July 1st, all the applications are now out there. So you can go out there starting the last week and get these new applications out there. The 15th of September is your last date to apply for the marketing grant. So if you do not have it in by the 15th, you will not be able to be accepted by this year. And then the last date is July 15th, 2025, that you have to have all your reports in for everyone that gets the grant. Next thing is a who. And this is very important. I put the QR code in here for the service toolkit. I recommend you going to this. We need to make sure that we know exactly who we're trying to approach with this marketing grant. There are different things that different communities need, and not all communities need the exact same thing. So it's very important that we look to see what exactly your club and your community needs. The big questions is who are you trying to reach? Is there an age difference? Different ages take different things different ways. So you can, if you look to do a Facebook versus a YouTube versus Instagram versus all these different platforms at X, they all relate different with a different age. The other thing is area, rural versus urban. One of the things that we did great this year when we used our marketing grant was we were very good to use in around the DC area. We were able to put our money forth on the Facebook campaigns, and we saw a great, tremendous outreach of people. We had over 300 different people reach out and wanted to become members of our Lions clubs due to a reach in there. But we went out to Western Maryland, and we found that we had 2 or 3. So it's very important for you to look at where you're trying to reach out and who you're trying to reach to know exactly how to reach them, because there are different ways to reach them and there are different approaches. Some of them might be a print, or some of them might be a online. And that goes into our where. So you need to be able to think about and to be able to know how you're going to market this approach. You're going to have to put down a list as far as with the marketing grant and telling how your approach is. Are you going to be doing an online advertisement? Are you going to be doing a print advertisement? Are you going to be doing a mixed approach? It is very important that you take that last part when the community assessment and this community needs to put into your marketing plan as far as how you're going to market this out to the line or non-Lions, because we need to make sure that we have a plan to go forward. If we don't have a plan, we're not going to be able to make it work. And last thing is why. So we all know that membership is a key to everything, and we are the greatest secret. And how can we do things better? Is we can market Lions better. Everything that we do on the marketing grant has to be centralized to Mission 1.5. If it's not assigned to membership, and if you're not trying to promote Mission 1.5, then more than likely you're not going to be able to get a approval of this marketing grant. So all of our grants need to make sure that we're focusing on Mission 1.5 and getting that out there. Like I said before, I'm going to stop sharing. We were able to work on doing marketing lines this last year in our DC area. We were able to do a Facebook approach where we were able to send out a message, as simple, taking a video and a marketing thing on that we have actually in Lions Virtual, taking that video and putting it out there, and got it out there. And we were able to see 25,000 hits inside of the DC area, inside of the Baltimore area. We're actually having a new club that's reaching out in the Baltimore area from this. So these things can be used maximum if we have all those things in line and we get the right approach to go in there. And if you have any questions, I'll put my email, in the chat. I'm more than welcome to help out anytime you need. Back to you, Wendy.
Thank you, Line Chris, for sharing this important opportunity that is funded by our Lions dues. So let's put that to good use to help our districts and our multiple district. I would like to, before we move on to our next topic, remind everyone that we are addressing questions and comments in the chat. So please use that chat feature here in Zoom or on the YouTube live stream if you're following us there. We are maxed out here with 300 participants and will not be able to answer questions live until we have the opportunity for breakouts, and people will be able to unmute and interact at that point. Our next topic today is one that's been in the news a lot. Artificial intelligence is here to stay. So how can we use it to our advantage? Here to share some interesting ways to use ChatGPT to be more creative and efficient with our marketing is past council chair Jody Burmester from Madison, Wisconsin, USA. Lyon Jody, I can't wait for you to help us be more intelligent on using artificial intelligence.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm so excited to be here today to talk a very little bit, about how we can use artificial intelligence to help market our Lions clubs. Most of us are not marketing professionals and really don't even know where to start. I do want to start with saying one thing. There is a lot of media out there about AI, artificial intelligence, and it's either going to save the world or ruin the world. And from a Lions standpoint, we can't be afraid to try things like ChatGPT and some of these artificial intelligence programs to help us better market our clubs and learn more about how we can reach out. So I'm going to be sharing some specific software today, some specific apps today, but there are plenty of free apps out there. So this is in no way necessarily a endorsement of ChatGPT or Canva, which we're going to take a look at in a few moments as well. But these are two of the tools you might want to use. So let's get started, because we don't have much time, as we've all said many times. So let me see if I can get my screen to share here with you all and share with you how we get started with something called ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is an online app that you can log into and create a free account. When you create a free account, you can go ahead and ask it any number of questions. Now you can see that I was already playing with this yesterday, but this is very simple to use. I created a free account and I go ahead, and down here at the very bottom, you can see it says Message ChatGPT. That allows you to type in a query or a question or what you'd like it to help with, or even add a document that will be able to give ChatGPT the information it needs. So in order for you not to see me type, I'm going to show you what I'm just going to copy and paste in this idea. A marketing plan for ABC Lions Club Movie Night in the Park, featuring Little Mermaid animated and live versions, Tuesday, August 6th from 6 to 9 p.m. in Main Street Park. Food trucks and beverages for sale, or bring a picnic. Bring your lawn chairs and blankets. So I'm asking ChatGPT to create a marketing plan for our upcoming club movie night in the park. Here you go. I'm going to hit enter, and you're going to see ChatGPT and any of these AI softwares go very quickly in helping you create an actual marketing plan. It talks about objectives, a target audience, some of the key messages you're going to want to use, and then it gives you marketing tactics. Marketing tactics are things like social media, using email lists you might have, creating local partnerships and sponsorships, flyers and posters, press releases, community engagements, all of these pieces. Then it does this great job of showing you a timeline of what you need to do starting 6 weeks out prior to the event. It is now creating a Facebook post for us right now, very quickly, that you can use to create a Facebook post. Notice there's no graphics. ChatGPT does not create graphics. It only creates words. From this, we've now got our verbiage for a Facebook post. But let's take a look at something else some of our clubs struggle with and see how quickly it can create a press release. I'm just going to simply type in press release. And you'll see, whoops, I hit the wrong button, or it should be going. Come on. I appear to have some internet issues here. All right, it should be putting in a press release right now.
Scroll down.
Oh, thank you. It automatically recreated what I did yesterday, apparently. So it creates a press release for you that allows you then to go in and you can simply copy this out, put it into a Word file or some sort of word processing file, and make any updates you'd like to make to this piece of this press release. Quick and simple. In under 3 minutes, we have a marketing plan for our upcoming movie night in the park. We have the verbiage for a Facebook post or a social media post of any sort. And additionally, we have a press release we can send out to the local media. All very quick and simple. I want to touch on what you can do to create some graphics. And graphics, again, most of us are not graphic design specialists. There is a piece of software, online app available called Canva. And I hope that, I'm not seeing the chat right now, so I hope the team is dropping these links into the chat window for us. But canva.com is a global app that allows people from across the globe to quickly create online or create any sort of PR or graphic that you'd like to create. I want to highlight something here for you. Under plans and pricings, you will note that there is a free account, there is a pro account, and then there's larger accounts for teams or an enterprise. But if you go all the way over here to the right, excuse me, I got a little too far, there is a not-for-profit account that is a free pro account for registered entities in the registered entities that are nonprofits in their local areas. This is available with eligibility guidelines. I'm going to click on this here for you to see that there's special eligibility, hard word to say today, for any number of countries across the globe as to what it might take. So for example, in Argentina, to qualify for this free account, you have to be registered as a civil association, foundation, organization with tax exemption, etc. You can go in and look at your own area to find out what's available for free and what's not if you are eligible for a free account. But if you are not eligible for a free account, the cost of this is not overwhelming. It in the US, last I looked, was at about $120 a year for a pro account that allows you to do a number of things. I'm going to work with you to show you how we can quickly create a poster on Canva from a free account for our upcoming event. So one moment here while we get back. You'll see that there's all kinds of different formats you can start with, everything from a document to a whiteboard to a flyer to a presentation, etc. We are going to actually use a portrait flyer at 8.5 by 11, which is standard letter size paper in the United States. And as this comes up, you'll see I can easily, if this ever comes up, it pulls up some templates and you can do a quick word search to find what it is. I'm calling my search Movie Night Under the Stars. And it's coming slowly here. As we scroll through, I'm going to just select one of these so I can quickly show you how this works. So I would like to use this template and it's going to drop in. This allows me to change anything on here with what I'd like to do. So Movie Night Under the Stars, we can call this. Oopsie, typing is not my strong point this morning, apparently. All right, let's say this is what I want it to be. I can quickly print this with Canva into a PDF or a PNG or a JPEG, whatever I'd like. This is actually the print option, excuse me. I can share this out to whatever I'd like to get it taken care of. Excuse me, share is the button I meant to hit. So I can share it as a copy, I can download it, and I can download a PNG. And while that's downloading, I'm going to actually cancel this. Cancel. I also want to show you how you can then go ahead and save this and change it into a different format. Because we've now got a poster, an 8.5 by 11 poster, a letter size poster, but we'd also like to make it into a social media post, let's say. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, I just clicked on the wrong button. So resize and magic switch are the key here, and it will quickly turn. Quickly is apparently that's only available on Pro, but let's just take a look if it'll take care of this for us and make this work. All right, apologies, that is only available on the Pro account, but you can see how you can then go in and recreate a simple file. Again, under design, you can say, I'd like to create one. Back to the main screen here. And I can create the same design in a reformatted format for an Instagram post or a Facebook post or whatever I'd like. So Canva is a very powerful tool for us to be able to use in creating our social media posts and also in posters and any other graphics we need to create. The last piece of advice I'm going to ask of you as you're looking at your events, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. As you're looking at your events, please, 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 please make sure you have at least one lion out there taking photos live at the event. Make sure that if you're looking to have a, if you're including children in it, you should be using a photo media release and also with adults. But you can also take photos from behind people that don't show their faces, so they don't need to worry about that. So you can get photos that you can use for other upcoming events, because photos are much better than just plain graphics in attracting people's attention. Also, make sure you're going live from the event, which we'll talk about at a later date, or make sure that you are sharing out that everyone and inviting them to your event. So that is a quick, very quick, how we can use Canva and ChatGPT to help create marketing materials for our clubs. Wendy, back to you.
Wow. Thank you, Lion Jody. I have had a ChatGPT account for a while, but I clearly need to spend more time playing around with the possibilities. We really have no excuses for staring at a blank screen anymore for some of the things that we do as Lions. AI can provide a great starting point, but does require our diligence in reviewing and revising what is generated so that it's appropriate and applicable for us. Vice President Mark, I wanted to ask if you have any comments now that we have been through 2 of our 4 sessions or topics for today before we transition to the second 2.
Thank you, Lyon Wendy. Yes, we've been covering things very quickly. We mentioned that off the top of the session that we would be giving some overall perspective on some new topics. And so I wanted to thank Lyon Chris and Lyon Jody for sharing information on the grant programs that are available to all Lions to consider, and on the technology that's out there with respect to ChatGPT and Canva. I'm just going through all the comments that are coming in, and everybody is very, very engaged right now. It's exactly what we had hoped for this session. There's a lot of interest in these types of topics, and we want to make sure that we put it out in front of our Lions as often as we can. So keep the dialogue going, keep the discussion going. I'm just really looking forward to hearing all about algorithms. It's one of my favorite words. So let's hear a little bit more about that, shall we?
Thank you, Vice President. And thank you to everyone who has been engaging in the chat, again, both in our Zoom session and on the YouTube channel. So, and thank you to our team that's been helping to drop in resources and links and things like that. That information will all be available to those Lions who have registered after this session is over. Our next topic today can have a great impact on the visibility of our Lions Club or our district content on social media. Here to help us understand how to use algorithms, you're right, that's a fun word to say, Vice President Mark, and hashtags to our advantage in our social media sharing is past District Governor Daniel Marney Elkins of Wilmington, Delaware, USA. Lyon Daniel, it is hashtag go time.
Well, hello, Lions. It is so good to be here with you today. And we are going to talk about how we are not just the world's largest service organization. We are an organization that has the power to become the world's largest organic marketing team. And how do we do that? With hashtags and algorithms. So, what is a hashtag? Let's get into it. So a hashtag, it's the symbol, it looks like the pound sign. It's used on social media to categorize posts. It's a way of sorting information on the internet. There's so much information, especially on social media. People posting the incredible things that they did today, or people posting what they had for lunch. How do we separate that? Part of it is through hashtags, and hashtags have the ability to not only separate content, but then also highlight specific content that becomes trending. So if you've heard the term, it's a trending hashtag, it means that people all around the world are starting to use a hashtag. Now, many may be familiar with that concept, the concept of a hashtag. But it is important to understand some of the rules of the hashtag. Your hashtag needs to be memorable. It can't be hashtag today I ate for lunch a chicken sandwich. No one's ever going to be looking for that, and it's not memorable. It should also not just be the brand name. And that's a very important thing because while it is important to put hashtag Lions International on everything that we do to help categorize all of the posts of Lions, what happens if we only use hashtag Lions International? Who is looking for posts that are hashtag Lions International? Lions and Leos and Leo Lions. That's it. So we are putting our content off into a shelf, which only we are looking for. So that's why it's really important when you use hashtags to use multiple hashtags. So always make sure to be using something that makes sure to market it as a Lions event, as a Lions thing. But you need to start to think about using other hashtags, hashtags that the rest of the world is using, so that our content, your service, and the impact that we are having in the community can be seen by not just Lions. So make sure to use it everywhere. Make sure it's short. Make sure it's consistent. And research. What is this research thing, and how do we research hashtags? Well, I'll tell you. There's a site. It's a very easy one. It's called tagsfinder.com. And if Winster would be good enough to put it in the chat, tagsfinder.com. It will show you, based upon where you are in the world, what the trending hashtags for that day are. So the frequently used hashtags in the United States, the top 30 as of today, are hashtag love, hashtag photography, hashtag travel, right? But it'll also allow you to do popular hashtags within your own city. And this is where it gets really interesting, because if you're trying to make sure people in your community and your city and your district are seeing your post, non-Lions, you should be using hashtags that are trending within your area. So it would be great if everyone who just went to convention in Melbourne, Australia, not only tagged it with the hashtag LionsCon24, but also hashtag travel, because we all traveled there and we were all posting amazing pictures of it. That's how you can begin to be seen by the wider world. And that's the key. We need to begin to affect the algorithm. Now, what's an algorithm? This is a fun word to say, as we have talked about, but an algorithm is the way that social media determines what posts other people see. It's a calculation. And the neat thing is the recognition that you have the power to change and impact the algorithm, to make content seen all around the world with just one or two small things that don't cost a single penny. How do you do it? Well, the algorithm, when he breaks it down, is checking whether or not you are interacting with a post. So if you take a second to like a post, that affects the algorithm, but it only took you a second. So it doesn't actually affect it to as large a degree as we might like. If you take a time to reshare a post, that has showed that you have engaged with that post on a new level. You have cared enough about it to put it onto your feed. Well, the algorithm then ranks that higher. Now, if you take the time to then leave a comment, time out of your day to comment on that post, and you have liked it, and you have reshared it, and you have commented, all of a sudden, the algorithm says, this is a post that I should start to show to other people. And this is where it gets really cool. Because the moment that you do that, people in your network will start to see it. The moment that people in your network start to interact with it, it starts to jump up on the algorithm scale to the point where it starts showing it to people outside of your network. And this is the secret of how we, as Lions International, with the 300 people that are currently on this call right now, could make any single post in the entire world go viral. Because the algorithm is also looking at where in the world you are when you're interacting with it. So if someone from Nairobi, Kenya, and someone from North Macedonia, and someone from Connecticut all interact with the same content, suddenly Facebook and Instagram and TikTok say, this is content that has global value to our algorithm and our engagement. And they start showing it everywhere. So now's the time. I want to see if we can do this. Now, you don't have to do it this exact second. Take this link, open it up, but there should be very quickly a link that is being posted in the chat, and it's right there. And it's a Facebook post, and it's the most recent Facebook post of Lions Clubs International. And it says, we work with nature for nature, perched atop of the north coast of the southern America. Suriname is the smallest country on the continent. And it's an article from Lions Magazine about a club doing some really cool stuff. Now, as of the time, 17 hours in, I took this screenshot just before the session started. There was only one comment and 19 shares. One comment and 19 shares. We have a total of 800,000 followers on our Facebook, but there's only one comment and 19 shares. And that's because we, as Lions, are not using the power we have to make things go viral. So if you take a moment and after this session, you go to Lions International Facebook, make sure that you're subscribed, and then comment on it, love it, like it, and reshare it with your own thoughts using hashtag environment, hashtag nature, hashtag Lions Go Green. I am positive that we can make this post the most interacted post in the history of Lions. And I know this because we have tested this theory with 8 people. And we took 8 people who started to do this on a regular basis and put them into a chat group and started sharing posts. And those 8 people became 50 people. And we brought in Vice President Mark and Vice President AP Singh into a group. And it's just a bunch of Lions who are strategically sharing information to help market. It takes us less than 30 seconds out of our day to do this. And the impact it has is undeniable. So we want you to do 2 quick things. Interact with that, but also make sure to go over to YouTube and go to Lions International on YouTube and hit subscribe on the YouTube and watch every video that it comes out. And this is just a short piece, but if every Lion in the world watched every video that was posted when it came out, the ad revenue generated If we had 1.4 million subscribers and 1.4 million people watched every video that was posted, we would be generating about $100,000 US every year in ad revenue money that could then be helped to further our associations and generating income that could do great stuff when it comes to marketing. So I want to show you in closing one final thing. It's the invitation to come and join this global marketing initiative. Now, Lyon Jody showed you some incredible stuff that you can do with AI. I want to show you very quickly what it looks like at the next level up. This is a video that I made in less than 30 seconds using AI. None of this is real. I generated an image that all it said is marketing. And if you want to know more, come to the USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum in September in Louisville. I'll be doing a presentation there about AI and how we can use it to forward our association. And in the end, go to lionsvirtual.org. It will take you directly to our Facebook page. I have put a post with that video that says, join the movement. Go to that post, like it, share it, and leave a comment if you would like to join our organic global service marketing initiative and help make us the most well-known organization in the world. Thank you for your service and everything that you do as Lions.
Thank you, Lion Daniel. I love seeing posts from other Lions clubs, but you have provided some really keen insights on how to increase public visibility of our Lions posts, and that's really what we need. Also, nice little plug for the USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum in September. But since we do have other constitutional areas represented, we'll also look at how to be able to make some of that information available again worldwide. Vice President Mark.
Thank you, Wendy. I just wanted to comment on Lyon Daniel's presentation. Yeah, yes, algorithm is my new favorite word, and I will use it all the time. Thank you, Daniel, for that. But really, just wanted to emphasize that this is not rocket science. This is easy to do. This is easy to track, easy to follow. The volume of sharing that goes on with Lions related postings on social media is incredible. And you can be a part of the wave to make it even stronger and to make our association the true influencer we need to be every day. So thank you, Daniel, for that great informative session. And I can't wait to sit in on your session at the forum in Louisville this fall.
Thank you. To round out our final topic today, we are going back to Lions International resources that are available to us. Here to tell us more about the Lions Press Center is Leo Ivy Kuria from Nairobi, Kenya. Take it away, Leo Ivy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leo Ivy. I come from Nairobi, Kenya, and I am here to tell you more about the Lions Press Center. Can you please have the presentation? Okay, next slide, please. So the Lions Press Center is a platform that is provided by Lions International, whereby we can be able to get different items that we can be using on our social media platforms and for communication purposes in our clubs. Next slide, please. So for this particular forum, we are going to be using the media kit. Next. So the objectives of this particular forum are three things. And for this presentation, number one, the introduction to the Lions Press Center. Two, marketing tools available on the media kit. And then number three, how to use the media kit in our local clubs. Next. Here is a brief introduction of what the Lions Resource Center is about. And the Lions Resource Center is a comprehensive hub designed to empower you with tools you need to share impactful stories and drive positive change, whether you're looking to raise awareness, engage your community, or to promote our initiatives. Our Resource Center has everything you need to amplify your message and make a difference. Next. So for you to be able to access this media kit, you're going to go to the Lions website. And when you go there, you click on the Member Resource Center. Then you're going to find the Press Center and then go down to the media kit. Next. So on this media kit, you're going to find 5 different things. And number 1 is the bio of our current international president together with his official photo, because it is important for us to share and tell the world who our president is and they get to know our leader. And then on the next subtopic on the media kit is our service and our story. Are you looking for ways to be able to frame whatever we do? How can you best put words together to tell people about Lions International? How best can you put words together to be able to tell them about the different causes that Lions International supports all over the world? And then we have the bioplate. This is like a formal way of telling people about Lions International. For example, whenever you're sending out newsletters for your club, there is a header. And then down below here is where you can add one of the messages on the bioplate to tell people more about Lions International. And then we have a couple of photos that you can use for your club on your social media platforms. And then we have the official Lions logos available here. Next slide, please. Yes, so these are examples of what is available on our service in the media kit. We have a subtopic on kindness matters to Lions. And then we have different subtopics that you can be able to use in your club. Next slide. Then we have our story. Do people know when Lions International started? Why it started? What kind of projects we have? About Leos, about Lions, about Leo Lions. This is where you can be able to get some of that information about Lions International, and it is framed in a very simple way that you can easily copy and paste on your social media platforms. Next. So as I had explained about the bioplate, this is information that you can be able to use on your official letters, press releases, or club memos, or when you're writing to donors, you can be able to get some of this information to your donors and on your letters. Next slide. Yes, these are some of the examples. For example, I'm going to read out number 2. Lions Clubs International is the largest membership-based service organization in the world. Our 1.4 million members in more than 49,000 clubs are serving in 200 countries and geographic areas. Since 1917, Lions have improved health and well-being, strengthened communities, and supported those in need locally and globally. At Lions Clubs International, our motto is "We serve." Learn more about what we do, learn more about who we are and what we do at lions.org. That is an example of a message that you can be able to put just below your newsletters and your official documents for your club. Next slide, please. So these are examples of the photos available. We have photos of different service projects, photos featuring lions and Leos that we can be able to use for our different marketing purposes in our clubs. Next slide. Yes, these are some of the logos and service icons that are available on the Lions website. Some of them are in the media kit and some of them are in the main website. It is important for us to make sure that we are using the proper Lions logos and service icons. And all of these, they are available on the website. You don't have to look for them anywhere else. They are all available in the website. Next, please. Here is a video that is going to be explaining just briefly about what we have just talked about and how we can also be able to use our different platforms to tell people more about Lions and especially on how to better market their clubs. Let's play the video.
Hi, are you looking for a way to market your club to the whole world? Well, I have something for you. On the Lions International website, there's a special page dedicated to marketing and events. Let's take a look. Go to the Lions International website and then click on Member Resource Center. Then scroll down to Marketing and Events. On the Marketing and Events part, you're going to find the Lions Press Center. Scroll down to the Media Kit. This Media Kit has 5 different items. You will find logos that you could use on your social media posts, photos that you could use, and then you will also find the Lions International President bio and photo. Make sure you use the Media Kit because spreading Lionism is service. Make your mark. Hi, are you looking for a way to market your club to the whole
Yes.
world? Well,
Oh, sorry. Yes, so that is a presentation or a small video that I did this morning and posted it on my TikTok and on my Facebook to just tell a lot more people about how they can be able to market their service. It's just a 45-second video that you could be able to share with your clubs and members of your different clubs and also other people who would want to learn more about Lions. So in case anyone has any questions, please let me know. That is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leo Ivy. It strikes me, and I hope it's struck all of you who are participating as well, that if your club's marketing and communication chair is not sitting in this session, you should plan to send them the link to the recording from today's session so that they also are aware of all of the resources and hopefully will be able to join us for our upcoming session that you'll hear more about later. Vice President Mark, before we go into the breakouts, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Oh, I just wanted to thank Leo Ivy for that great presentation. Leo Ivy is also very modest because she has an amazing site out on social media called Keeping a Girl in School, which is a remarkable program, a very important program, and we wish you all the best with that. You truly know how to market a very important topic, and we should all be very proud of the efforts that you put forth to doing so.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if one of our admin team doesn't mind putting a link to that, there may be other Lions here that are interested in learning more about keeping a girl in school. All right. With the inspiration from all 4 of our presenters, and again, I want to take a moment and thank Lions Chris and Jody and Daniel and Leo Ivy for sharing such interesting topics with us. So while that's fresh in our minds, we want to take the next 20 minutes to give you a chance to share your thoughts and ideas with each other. For those of you on Zoom, you will be ushered to a breakout room with a volunteer moderator to help guide the timing. Each person will have up to 2 minutes to share your name, where you live, and how you will use what you learned today to promote an upcoming service project or your Lions Club in general. For those of you on the YouTube live stream, our 4 presenters will be joining you in the chat. Please share the same information, where you live and how you'll use what you've learned today to promote a service project. You can also enter marketing related questions in the chat for feedback from our presenters if you haven't gotten some of those questions answered yet. And again, we will have 20 minutes before we come back together. With that, let's go ahead and open the breakout rooms.
Okay, everybody. Good morning. Are we ready for the breakout room? So you will be invited to the breakout room. Just click join, or you will be automatically sent them. If you don't get it, just let us know and we will send you back. But we are gonna open up the 32 rooms right now. Have fun, and you have 20 minutes.
Thank you, Winster.
All right, Lions, for those who have not gone to a breakout room, it looks like most of the people are, but we have some people that need to be assigned. However, we are live streaming on YouTube. and the live stream stays right here with us. So I thought it might be good as people are being sent if we had a little mini breakout room with the people who are left. So there's not 20 minutes of just dead space
Hey,
in the
Daniel.
middle. Yes.
Daniel, instead of that, because they're going to be sent to a breakout room, the team should be assigning all of those not joined to a breakout room
Perfect.
right now. Let's have a chat on YouTube. We've been having a very active conversation over on YouTube the last since we opened up the session, and there's at least one question out there right now, and I'm sure there will be more. So let's go ahead, and the one question that so far has come up on the YouTube channel is, can you overdo social media posts? Can you do too many of them? And there's been some comments from other people, but I would say, having done this for a while, the answer is yes, especially if you're posting the same thing over and over and over again. You know, people stop seeing it. So creating new posts that go along with whatever it is you're trying to market is very important. Hey, Daniel or Chris or any of the other team, did you guys have anything you wanted to add to that?
Absolutely. It is important to have quality and consistency, not quantity. Because if you are posting the same sort of type of thing 3 to 5 times a day, and people are interacting with that, their number of interactions will decrease, which means that your impact that you have on the algorithm will also decrease. So people will begin to see your content less. If you are flooding and the algorithm marks you as a spammer, someone who's just constantly marking the same thing, Facebook has built-in protections to prevent people from spamming the same information over and over again. The only exception is if you can get 500 to 1,000 people to interact with every single post, that's great. That means that the desire is there. But until you're at that point, I would agree with what Lyon Jody has said. 100%, you can do too much, but it's important to stay consistent. That's the key above everything. Because if you only post once a month, the algorithm will think that you don't exist. So it is important to have consistent posts once a week at the bare minimum if you can, even if it's just resharing someone else's post. That can also interact in that way.
Let's remember too that we have so much content to share. The pictures, the graphics, the messages that we can pull up and redistribute are almost limitless. I mean, when we get the feedback that comes in, it's great to see what new people are saying and where the new dialogue goes, and we can use that to our advantage to spread a different message with a different photo, a different graphic. Just by keeping an eye on things and understanding that we may be reaching an overload level on certain messages.
Well,
And
and Chris?
I was just going to say, I would add to that we really have to be careful of that content. And a follow-up question on this is how many posts a day? The reality is, if you're looking to be true marketing on social media, and first of all, Facebook and Instagram, you can link your accounts. So you can automatically double your work or double your reach by doing just one post. Number one, and we'll talk more about that in future sessions. But number two, what I would say is making sure that you have a schedule. So maybe you post on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for your club, and then you have a post you share on Tuesday and Thursday. If you've got a Facebook account for your club that's set up as a nonprofit account and a business account, basically, it will tell you when your peak times of your readership or your viewership is. So you can go ahead and figure out what time is best to post. And that will be different likely on Facebook and on Instagram, and it will share that information for you. So one thing I strongly recommend you all do is go on to either the App Store or the Play Store, depending on what you use, and download the Facebook Business app that allows you to manage your account live and also get all that information. Because the other reality is you can't go live from an event if you aren't going live through that app. So if I'm at my club movie night and I want to say, hey, come join us now, I can only do that through that business app. So make sure you get that on there. Someone said not always a good thing to link accounts. I actually would argue that. And the reason is you can choose to post to just one or the other. You don't automatically have to post to all the accounts. You can choose to post to only one or the other. So that would be another piece I would say.
And just to build on that point, if you're looking for things to share, there are great sites to be able to share just right on Facebook, following other content creators. And in fact, one of the most consistent and best in the last year has actually been our Second International Vice President's page. So if you go to VP Mark's page, there is always Lion related content that he's sharing directly from the foundation, directly from Lions around the world, directly from his travels. And what I love about what he's done is he does a big focus on graphics and images. So you don't have to write the post. You can just take a moment to hit share and put it out there. And very quickly, this account has become one of the most interacted with accounts on Lionism because of that. And so whenever I don't know what to post, I turn to examples like that. And there are several. You can go to the Global Lions Forum, and there are lots of things there that get posted that are worthwhile sort of sharing every once in a while. And I know, Chris, you had a comment that you wanted to make.
Yeah, as I cough. Yeah, the thing that I was going to bring up is that, the thing with marketing the same thing over and over again, use some of the tools we talked about. ChatGPT, if you put it in there and if you ask it to make a little bit small modification to your topic and you add in the modifications that you want to have in there, it will reword it and put it in a different way. So if you're wanting to market to a different type of an area or a different type of a region, you can actually put the changes in there that we want ChatGPT to put in there, and it will reach out there and try to make that post exactly for the area you're wanting to market at.
Perfect. I would add a couple other things. You as marketing or Lions leader should be always following the Lions International posts and using those. And that also includes the LCIF posts. Following Mark and others is fantastic. There's also a Lions graphics page out there that there's Lions from across the globe that create graphics for every holiday that comes up in pieces like that. Also make sure to follow your local foundations. We have a Wisconsin Lions Foundation. We have a Lions Eye Bank of Wisconsin. Follow your local groups as well to make sure that you're sharing their materials and their information about what it means to be a Lion locally. Let me share some other questions we've got here. There is a question about boosting posts and whether it's worth it or not. And Daniel, I'm going to give you that one, and then I got a thing to add if you don't cover it. So Daniel, why don't you cover that for a moment?
Absolutely. It depends on how you boost the post. And that's a very important thing. When you're doing a Facebook boost or a Instagram boost or even a YouTube boost, there are different settings that you can put it. So you can target things based off of people's interests. You can target things based off of people's locations. So I can say, I want everyone in the state of Delaware to see this one ad. And it's actually something that was built in to our marketing grant that Multiple District 22 did. And Chris was our grant administrator. So, Chris, do you want to just quickly talk about how you did that and then the impact of how that affected our membership growth this year?
Yeah, so let me talk about that real quick. So we use Facebook and we did different money. So you can actually stipulate different money towards different areas. And it's very important that you look at how wide that you're going to put it into and the actual money you put in there. If you're trying to get a lot out, when we've actually done this multiple times last year and testing the algorithms and testing how this works, we boosted a post we ended up spending about $2,000 in a 45-day strand, and we were able to get over 100 new members from that, and we were able to start 3 new clubs that were into these bigger areas that we were trying to get into, which is a tremendous response. We actually had the numbers that we were seeing responding for Facebook was very they thought it was kind of crazy because of how we were getting the responses in. The problem is that if you don't put enough money into it, if you dilute the pool. So if you try to put in a $500 budget and you've tried to put it in for 6 months, you probably are going to be so diluted that you're not actually going to get any responses. So you need to make sure that you put the proper amount in there to see the proper coming back. We did this a smaller pool, and we did a more smaller sample of an area, 6 or 7 different zip codes. We did not get the responses back because it was too small and it didn't actually impact the whole area. So it's very important to look at that and to put that into your projections as far as where you want to market it.
So we'll talk more about advertising later because there's a lot of theory and things that go along with it. But I'd like to add a couple things for you to think about. Number one, Meta owns Google and they own Instagram and they own WhatsApp. You can purchase ads through them for that. But don't forget about Google. Google has a separate platform to purchase ads on. We had a marketing grant here in my multiple district that we used to promote an event or a series of, we were trying to get people to do more composting and to save food and environmental project. And the Google search had a better response than any videos we did or anything we did on Facebook. So don't forget about Google as well. The other thing can't emphasize enough, if you are putting dollars into a marketing campaign on social media, do not spend one dime, one penny, one ruble, whatever it is you spend without preparing your Lions in advance. The worst thing that can happen is you set up a multiple district-wide program and someone in a town, a Lion from a long ways away has no idea it's going on. And they're like, well, what ad are you talking about? And you're never going to 100%, but make sure you build into your plan time to prepare your own members for whatever response you want them to give, and then provide the tools and resources they need to be successful in recruiting those members. All right.
Let me add on that real quick. So it not only let the members know it's coming on, but also have a team that's ready to respond to the messages.
Yes.
So we had a group, like I said, we put $2,000 into market. We had so many responses. We had over 600 responses that we had to actually take time to respond to those people. And if you don't respond to them as they communicate to you, you're missing out on a chance to get a new member. So it's very important that you have not just one person, that you have a full group of people that are ready to respond and help out.
Cool. Great point.
With that, it is also important to know what types of clubs you are wanting to direct these new members to, and talk to those clubs in advance and make sure that they're willing to be open to new ideas and new members. And that's something during my year as governor, I did a much smaller version. It was the trial run for what we did on our multiple district. And so I took $200 instead of $2,000 and did a targeted ad showing a very dynamic version of Lionism with people serving with youth, and it was a great video. Well, I didn't get 100 new members, but I got about 30. But all 30 of those members wanted to join a club that was doing active things with young people. And so trying to find the right club to put them in became a little bit of a hassle. I had to reverse engineer it. So we ended up creating new clubs just to be able to have the type of club that people had seen from that image. And that's when you talk about marketing, you've got to be aware of what image that we're putting out there. And that's something that I think is, well worth a whole session on. Another thing is, what image are we currently projecting as Lions?
It's your brand. And we definitely need to talk about that. I'm going to move us on because we've got some other questions that I think are important that if we can get to, it's fantastic. And I'm going to take just a moment because this one's, I think, a pretty short one. The question is it bad to post about projects before and after they happen? I would say not only is it not bad, you should be. Last year when now immediate past President Patty was traveling around, she had a video she was showing about a club that had all these lead up events. They had the 6 weeks out, they started saying, hey, save the date. And then different posts throughout showing they're going to have food trucks or they're going to have this happening, that happening, etc. And then the 3 days leading up to it, they had a 3, 2, 1 and day of post. And then after they went live during the event. And afterwards they said, thank you to everyone who came. And they did a thank you post with a bunch of photos and links and all of that. It's vital that you close that door, so to speak. You've got to wrap it up and close it out at the end. So I'm not going to let any of you else comment on that because that one was, I think, pretty good because I've got a couple other things that I think are going to take a little more. Daniel, there is a question. Well, first, I also on a social media account. Hold on, I just lost it. The whole thing is bounced here. All right, Jody Elizabeth. Okay, I swear at myself more than anyone else. I apologize. Daniel, there's questions about algorithms and if they are based on the user or on the device. So if you're going through, if I log in from my phone, my tablet, and my desktop or my laptop, what does that do to the algorithm? Does that change things?
It tracks you on every single imaginable data point that you can possibly think of. So yes, device does have an impact, but it is more of what you do on it. So if I'm interacting with my Facebook account from my phone or my laptop, there will be certain things that are slightly different. But the reality is it's based primarily off of engagement. And engagement is measured in one thing above all others, and that's eyeball time. How much are your eyes on a particular piece of content? So if you write a comment that is, that's great, and it's a single sentence, how much time did you invest into that post? Not much. So the algorithm ranks it. It goes, yes, they care about it, but not care about it enough to give more than just a single second response. Now, if you write a paragraph, well, you've taken time out of your day. And that means that you really care about this. And so that will impact the algorithm more than anything.
Excellent, Daniel. There's a number of questions here about what type of page to set up. And I'm going to cover this quickly because there's more questions and we've only got 3 minutes left. But the reality is you should have a separate club social media account, be it Facebook, be it Instagram, be whatever it is, that is set up with at least 3 administrators on it. So you've got continuity. And it should be set up as a nonprofit business. As you are setting this up, it will show you options. Facebook groups are not a great place for a Lions Club to set up for an external facing page. A Facebook group for your club would be a great place for your club members to interact when there's things going on. But an actual Facebook page set up as a nonprofit business is the way to go. Again, making sure that you set up at least 3 people in your club that have access to that page. So if something happens to one of them and they leave your club or pass on, you have the ability to still access that page.
Can I give you a quick life hack? The life hack is, yes, that she is completely right. The setting up as a nonprofit business page. However, if you create an individual account and decide that you want to turn your individual account into your nonprofit business page, you have the added value of instantly converting all of your friends into followers onto that account. And so my current page is actually set up as a business page, but it's because I reached the 5,000 friends limit and then had to convert it over so more people could do that. So that's a way you could add people and then convert it. It's just a little hack. Chris, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, one little quick thing, and this is because we're trying to market Lions. It's very important too that we try to make sure who we're marketing to. If we're talking about the multiple district level, if we're talking about the district level, are you trying to market to non-Lions or are you trying to market to Lions? You know, if we're trying to market to non-Lions, then don't put that ours is like 22C, District 22C page. No one knows what 22C is. That's not a Lion. So instead, one of our marketing grants that we did beginning this year is we changed it to the Maryland Lions. And we are now marketing to the Maryland Lions, to DC Lions, and the Lions of Delaware. So those are things that we have to make sure that when you're posting and when you're making those accounts, make sure that they're outward facing.
Chris, that is such a key point that we have missed for so long. And you can change the name of your page once every 6 weeks, as I recall, I think was the rule last time I looked. I do have, we have less than a minute. We've got 17 seconds here, but I do want to touch on there. Don't forget, we're talking online and social media marketing a lot today, but do not forget about traditional marketing. Traditional marketing like posters across your community, reaching out with those press releases to local media, doing local interviews if possible, doing all those other key points. Hey, sidewalk chalk is a beautiful thing if you have a lot of foot traffic. I mean,
Other
these
flags.
cost a lot, but they're things that we can't forget as we're looking at online marketing and having a full marketing picture. And if you looked at when you look in Chat GPT and they set up a marketing plan for you or give you ideas, it will also include traditional marketing. So there you go. Yes, change MD4 Lions to California Lions. MD22 Lions is now Lions of Delaware, Maryland, and that other one. Anyways,
Delaware, Maryland, and DC.
thank you.
Don't forget DC. They always get forgotten.
Awesome. All right, Wendy, it is now back to you.
We have 15 seconds before the full room is back.
Yeah,
Oh, excellent.
We'll give them just a minute for everybody to come back into our main session.
If I can, Wendy, make sure, we want all the participants who are here with us live right now to make sure that they watch the YouTube recording when it's available to hear the great discussion that we had with the YouTubers while everybody was in their breakout rooms. A great additional, lots of information in a short period of time. Want to make sure that they all know that.
Yep, I will pass that on in just a minute. I think we're getting close to everybody being back with us.
They're back.
All right. Welcome back, and thank you all for your participation and engagement with that breakout session. And for some of you who came in who heard just the last bit of Vice President Mark's advice, we did have some Q&A with our YouTube live stream that was that will be on the recording. So for those of you who are participating, you might want to watch the recording when you get that link. Fast forward to this segment if you don't need any of the prior information as a refresh, but there's some great insights and suggestions during that last 20 minutes that we shared with the YouTube live stream. And thank you to our presenters for your feedback and response to some really key questions there. All right, while we do not have time to hear from everyone, I am going to ask a couple of the breakout room moderators to share an overview of your discussion points that you had in your rooms. So this is a heads up that we're going to be spotlighting Vanessa Horrid, Dawn Rice Norton, and International Director Marcel Daniels. We've also asked each of the breakout room moderators to share a short summary in the chat. So hopefully they will be incorporating that and cutting and pasting or typing that into the chat message. You'll be able to download that for future reference. All right, so I'd like to begin and just ask Lyon Vanessa if you can share a short summary of the discussion from your room.
Thank you. I had issues unmuting. So we had about all the continents almost in our chat room. That was great. Lions from all over the world sharing the impression after the presentation we had. Some of them said that they wish these sessions were longer because they're eager to learn more. So we thought that maybe in one of the, the training sessions, maybe it would be good to have sessions about marketing. We did talk, like ID Daniel said that we're going to have some in our constitutional area forum in October. We're going to have a session, but yeah, why not thinking about having marketing sessions in future training for future leaders and Lions, So that would be a good idea. That they all liked everything that was touched today, especially with the hashtags. They learn how to use hashtag. Thank you, Daniel. Canvas as well, and ChatGPT. Some already used it, but thought it was a bit, difficult, and they had to rearrange it. So they said maybe they're going to use it more like arrange a session or plan a session, but maybe not use it to write the total text that's going to be used. What else we had? We had future district leaders. So they see they're interested for the future of the district, and some people from multiple districts as well in charge of communication and wanting to develop that in the multiple districts. So I think you're gonna have a lot of email asking for more information, and that's great. I mean, we really had a good time. So much fun that we didn't even have time to take a picture. And for people who know me, it's impossible. So really, I couldn't even take a picture because we've been chatting too much. So that was great. And yeah, I think either longer session or maybe smaller session with more people training, that would be the thing that I would take. And apart from that, people said they would take a little bit of everything and do the market and mix it and, you know, use it according to what's happening in the area, because there's the global marketing that we do with our social medias, but there's also the local one according to the area we belong to. So we'll try to adapt and adjust to the area. That was group 31.
Thank you, Line Vanessa and Group 31. We appreciate you sharing a little summary snapshot of those discussions. Lion Dawn.
Hi. So we had room 11, and similar to Vanessa, so we had a nice smattering of people. We had Massachusetts, we had Montana, Netherlands, Dutch Caribbean, Texas, New Brunswick. Some great comments. We had a variety of experience in our room, which was also good, from a professional videographer and sharer to people just learning. One great tip that we heard from Netherlands, a GLT up there, they use Canva, and they're familiar with the hashtags and the algorithms. And a good point she made was you get more to the algorithm if you share within that first hour or so of that post. So they combine with WhatsApp and get the word out there so that they can comment much quicker and even boost their algorithms a little higher. So one good tip. We heard in Texas, they're going to be celebrating 100 years, and got a lot of great ideas to get the word out there on that. Also, GLT to share some training sessions and to get some more information and do a little bit more marketing. We sometimes forget we also need to market Lions to our Lions to get them informed, get the word out, and make them good emissaries and good, give them some topic, some content to bring forth and have the ripples come out. One great comment was, you don't need the talent, you just need to be able to use the resources, which is good. So if you're not a creative person or somebody that does this professionally or even well, we're finding out you don't need to. Just make use of it and just know where those resources are. So that was wonderful. Montana, we found out, is 400 something thousand square miles. So to broadcast and get information across that distance, some great resources and tools that they can use to get that. In New Brunswick, they're going to have a lot more jazz to their newsletters and some of their postings. So lots of great stuff, lots of great plans. Awesome session for everybody.
Thank you, Dawn, and thanks for sharing the discussions of Group 11. And Director Marcel.
Thank you, Wendy. So this was group 19. We had people from different parts of the world as well. So we had a couple of US states, Idaho, Massachusetts, Wisconsin. Then we had Canada with Ontario. We had Paul from the Philippines. I'll come back to Paul in a second. And we had Yvette from Grand Cayman Islands. It's a great discussion, as in the other groups, I'm sure. Some people have been using some of the tools already to their advantage, and others are looking forward to use more of it because there is a huge amount of interest in hashtags and in the way that we can use artificial intelligence better than we are using it today. James from Ontario actually came up with an interesting story, joining a club which was on the verge of folding. And because of the marketing tools that they've been exposed to, there is a huge opportunity for them to restart the club and get going again, which I think is a very positive step into the usage of marketing tools to make people aware that there's much more to running a club if you can use the tools which have been discussed in today's session. And Paul, who's actually from the Philippines but working in Saudi Arabia, using Canva tools and social media to stay in touch with people back home and really run service projects from a distance, which is amazing. So marketing across borders really works and helps people to, ensure that we see service activities across the board. There are no borders, there are no boundaries, the way you can do things, the way you can implement activities. A couple of suggestions also came up. Can we promote the activity like this one a bit earlier in advance because people's agendas are filling up? I said, this is obviously a good comment to hear, which means that people are willing to participate. Again, I'm looking forward to the next session. And also a suggestion, could this be repeated at a different point during the week, which would be a benefit to people sitting in one constitutional area, but at the same time, you're missing the opportunity of hearing from people in other parts of the world. So it's a bit of a double whammy. You might attract more people in one region, but you're missing the opportunity of hearing from people in other parts of the world. But all in all, we were actually cut off in our discussion in the room, like I'm sure was the case for other people, but a really good session with very, very important input from all the people in group 19. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Marcel, and your participants in Group 19 for sharing their summaries. I'd also like to thank all of the other moderators who have put some really detailed notes and ideas from your discussions in the chat. So before you all leave, I would suggest that if you've got the chat box called up, hit those 3 little ellipses that's at the top of the chat box and save the chat if you'd like the ideas of just the short summaries of what was discussed in the other sessions, as well as some of the links and information that's been shared in the chat stream throughout our session. So we have covered a lot of ground today. And before I provide the wrap-up logistics, I'd like to ask Vice President Mark to join us again to share some final comments that he has on this important topic.
Thank you, Lyon Wendy. What a great session this has been. We have covered, as we've heard, so many topics. So many critical new ideas have been shared that our Lions are going to take home with them. They're going to share it with their clubs, their district leadership, their multiple district leadership, and just move it to a new level. Marketing it's not just about communication. Marketing is service. We need to ensure that our Lions understand that the marketing efforts that we put forth is an act of service that we all need to play a role in. And marketing is also vital for extension and retention of Lions. The messages that we share, the way we share them, the amount of time we spend in putting these communications together is critically important to engaging our Lions and to keeping them motivated and happy and challenged to perform even greater acts of service right in their own communities and around the world. Some of the feedback we've heard from the 3 different breakout rooms today offered us some unique perspectives on how we should be looking at marketing as a global service effort. Everything from using our technology with hashtags and ChatGPT to engaging our global leadership team and global membership team even more in its Mission 1.5 efforts. And using technology like Canva, marketing across borders, tremendous ideas that will continue to generate new interest and new enthusiasm and new passion for service. The resources that are available to all of us are limitless, both on our LCI website and through social media channels like the Global Lions Forum and Lions Virtual. Attending Lions forums in every constitutional area brings that regionalization back, that local approach to the way we do things. And we need to make sure that our forum leaders are sharing the really important things that are going on in their parts of the world so that we can all benefit from those types of marketing efforts and communication methods. So I am just excited. I'm energized by this. I've been writing notes. I've been taking and sharing them with people as we go. I think we've got a great great marketing session going here, and we are absolutely looking forward to our next event on October 6th, and I'm sure Wendy will give us a summary of that as well. Thank you all for being a part of this first session of the new Lions year. I can't wait to see you all down the road as we do our service together. Thank you so much.
Vice President Mark, we know that you have a lot of demands on your time. So on behalf of all of us, thank you for your leadership and thank you for your emphasis on marketing Lions and getting the word out. It is long past time for us to stop being the best kept secret in our communities. If you found today's session informative, we encourage you to register and claim a spot for the second session on this Lions virtual series.
Hey, Wendy, before we jump into that, can we just cover some a call to action, if you will?
I am sorry. Yep, I jumped right in, and you want to cover this information?
Sure. You know, as we are all learning together, it's important that we continue to spread the word, as Daniel said. So we are asking you all to go back to your home club, to your home district and your home multiple, and start recording videos showing how you're serving your community. And when you're recording videos, make sure they're vertical handheld videos, and then put them out on social media. Share your projects and videos using hashtag your club name and hashtag Marketing Lions. We as a team will come back at later dates and be pulling some of those videos and sharing them as inspiration with Lions across the world, both here in our next sessions and upcoming Marketing Lions sessions, and also across our social media on Lions Virtual and through the Global Lions Forum. So please take a chance and make a video, and we'll talk more about how to create those at a later call. But go ahead and get out there and start doing it. Wendy, that's it.
All right, thank you. Apologies again, I saw the screen come up, but I thought it was the next slide that is promoting and giving you an opportunity to register and claim a spot for our second session on the Lions virtual series. Be held on October 6th with the same start time as this session. So go ahead and use the QR code or the URL and register now. For all of the latest on marketing for Lions and other Lions virtual events and training, be sure to connect with Lions Virtual on social media. You can like us on Facebook at Lions Virtual, follow us on Instagram at Lions Virtual, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Lions Virtual Live. Also, we've referenced this a couple of times today, but check your inbox next week for an email from Lions Virtual that will have a link to the recording of today's session. There's also going to be an opportunity to share your marketing training needs so that we can do planning for the upcoming series sessions and what that content will best help serve you. And also, if you didn't sign up already, you'll also receive an invitation to register for that October session. Thank you again to our presenters and to Vice President Mark Lyon, as well as our behind the scenes Lions virtual team who make these sessions go. We are going to sign off. We'll look forward to seeing you online and right back here in October. Thank you all.
Wendy,
Yes.
one last piece, and Barbarelli asked this as well, just in the chat. You will also, as part of that email, be getting a survey that'll allow you to share input as to what you might be interested in seeing in trainings going forward. So please do take the time. It won't be long, but we would love your input so we make sure that the topics we cover are topics that you want to hear and learn more about. So that will also be part of that email. You'll see by next Tuesday, Chicago time, we'll call it.
All right, thank you. And thanks again to our team that's put links into the chat. If you haven't already, I'm doing this now. I'm clicking Save Chat so that I can go back and see the information that was discussed in all of the other breakout groups. I hope you'll do the same, and happy roaring. I look forward to learning more about what you've done